Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing giting at gigil.
Welcome to The Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down!
Alright, what is up, Blue Eagle Nation? Thank you again for tuning in to us over here at Radyo Katipunan 87.9. Once again, you're hanging out with me, Anthony. And of course, kasama ko ngayon for the first time since... Kailan ba to? January ba? Coach Mike?
Yeah, yung finals.
Yes. So
Yung
last
finals,
time ko nakasama, ang aking kabarangay na si Coach Mike Perez was the finals, game free ng Metro League. Imagine that.
Yeah. Grabe, tagal na eh. Parang taon na eh, no?
Halos mag-iisang taon na.
Yeah, January, no?
Yep.
Bilis.
Siyempre, pero Coach Mike, of course, always naman a pleasure na makasama kita on air. And so ngayon, wala tayong serious na coaching breakdown ng relax lang tayo.
Yeah.
Of course, sa mga nakikinig sa atin, Coach Mike is one of the hosts ng nagiging go-to podcast na ngayon ng mga basketball coaches on FB. Ang kanyang natatanging programa na BouncePass, di ba?
Yep.
And Coach Mike, recently, okay, so alam ko yung BouncePass nyo, ang galing ng mga breakdowns nyo, ang galing ng analysis nyo. Pero recently, nakasama nyo one of the best film coaches on YouTube, Coach Nick, ng People Breakdown.
Oo.
Paano nyo na yun? Paano nyo na organize with Coach Nick yun?
Yeah, well, actually, si Coach Nick, I've been exchanging with Coach Nick since way back 2011, 2012. I stumbled upon him kasi I'm a triangle offense guy, so I love triangle offense. So I was searching for material on triangle offense, and eventually I bumped into yung account niya. So I was just watching, tapos sabi ko, ang galing nito ha. Sabi ko, pag hindi ka marunong ng basketball and you watch him, you learn. Ganun siya kagaling mag-explain. So and then I got into Twitter. When I got into Twitter, I tried exchanging with him. Sumasagot siya sa akin eh. So we talked a lot about the Gilas team. We talked about triangle offense. We talked about Tim Cone. It got to a point where he said na he's coming over to the country and he wants to meet up and discuss and usap. But eventually hindi siya natuloy. And so this year, siguro mga after mga 3-4 years, wala kami masyadong communications.
Oo.
And then, so we just tried, no? And thankfully, pinagbigyan niya kami na ano. Actually, maraming reschedule na nga yan kasi busy rin siya with the political debate sa US eh. Kasi
Of course.
kino-cover din niya. Yeah.
Pero ang tanong, Coach Mike, so sa recent episode nyo, nagkasundo ba kayo ni Coach Nick? Going back to Game 5 ng finals, did LeBron make the right play in the end, kicking out to Danny Green rather than pulling up from the elbow? Anong sagot natin dun?
Well, ang daming kwento about it, no? But I feel that it was the right play, no? It was the right play considering na there were, 3-4 guys na, that was collapsing on him. But it was the right play, it was the right pass. But the pass was, alam mong hindi siya intentional na pass eh. We've been discussing this dun sa podcast namin sa BouncePass. And we knew that it was not an intentional pass. It was an emergency pass eh.
Yeah.
Na, my first, parang ang basa ko doon is that my first look would be to go for a shot. If not there, kung defense collapses, then I'll kick out. Kaya mapapansin mo, nung sinalo ni Danny Green yung bola, hindi diretso dun sa pass pocket eh, sa passing pocket na your shoulders and masyado mababa. So drenable pa niya ng isa bago niya tinire. So masyado mababa talaga yung pasa. But was it the right play? I think yes. But was it, to me, I think Mikey Reyes, I saw his video. He was on point. Actually, that's what we're trying to say, that it was the right pass, but it's not the best play. I feel that the best play should have been him finishing, si LeBron finishing. Kasi tingnan mo, anong game na yun, di ba? Ilan siya? 40 points, 7 out of 9 sa 3 points. Yeah. Tapos game on the line, a close-out game on a finals to which you're dedicating to Kobe. And you are LeBron James.
Yes.
So feeling ko, kaya nga I was waiting for that moment, sabi ko, nako, LeBron James moment. One of the coaches in the group, si Coach James Tolentino even alluded to, baka ito na yung MJ moment ni LeBron.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, pinasa nga niya. So medyo let down ako dahil I was hoping na epic yun eh pag kung magbabasket yun, but since he did not, medyo na off ako kumbaga. From an expectation standpoint.
Gusto ko yung sabi mo, Coach Mike, no? It was the right play, pero not exactly the best play that you could come up with at that moment. Pero parang nakita ko ito in one of your posts tsaka sa Twitter ni B-Ball Breakdown. No? Parang sabi niya, okay, bumalik siya sa 91 finals. MJ, di ba, against the Lakers.
Right.
He had that yung off the hop na pull up niya from the elbow. Just couple of dribbles, rise up, tira. Pero I don't know, parang, okay, LeBron, I know sobrang nag-improve yung shooting niya ever since. Kasi I remember 2007 finals against yung Spurs ko. Bruce Bowen, pinapabayaan siya like from the 3-point line. He was backing off. Pero, di ba, Coach Mike, pansin mo, did LeBron ever have that sa arsenal niya? Yung off-the-hop pull-up na di ba, couple of dribbles lang, rise up lang. Wala, parang hindi,
Actually, I feel na walang jump stop si LeBron eh. Wala siya. And like, at saka hindi siya 2-foot na na jumper. At kung mamasin mo si Derrick Rose, if you watch all his videos, hindi siya, 2-foot jumper siya eh. Kailangan i-land niya yung dalawang paa niya, tumalon siya para, he slams, he lays up, whatever. Unfortunately, si LeBron, we don't see that. No, I think that's one of the probably the areas that LeBron can work on. Mas lalo na realizing that he could have used it in Game 5 this year. Wala yun sa niya eh. Yung sinasabi mong video ng 91 with versus LA, yung kay Michael Jordan. I actually tried to look for it. So no, finally na nakita ko, sabi ko, alam ko may ganitong situation eh. So yun nga, makikita mo yung difference eh. Na from the back court going to the front court, no? Tigil, 2-foot na jump stop, tapos tira. Walang ganun si LeBron. Si LeBron has always been a 1-2 player eh. From a footwork standpoint. So he runs his first leg and then second leg then take off. So hindi siya yung dalawa sabay na And yung jump stop na yan, actually tinuturo na natin yan sa mga high school na mga students, at least dun sa teams that we coach, no. Especially when we got into when dribble drive was a big thing. Yung ginamit ng Gilas before.
Yeah.
That's one of the key moves in that offense, wherein when you get in the paint and nag-collapse lahat, you just do a jump stop para makatira ka without necessarily, forcing yourself into the defense. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is what happened to LeBron, I think. Yeah.
Parang nakikita ko kasi sa kanya, like super all-world talent. Pero minsan yun yung mga nuances, yung mga finer points ng fundamentals, yung okay, parang ang coaches ay makikita mo yun mapipinpoint mo yun di ba?
Alam mo yun sa Anthony, if you look at the game of LeBron, my observation is that wala siyang 2-foot na jump stop. No? Pangalawa, yung post play niya, hindi siya Jordan and Kobe level, no. I'm not comparing versus LeBron, no, but what I'm versus those guys, but what I'm saying is from a movement standpoint, makikita mo ang difference nila. Si Kobe at saka si LeBron use a lot of fakes, use a lot of footwork, no?
Yes.
Inside out, inside reverse pivot. Kung ano footwork ginagawa nila sa poste. Like si LeBron more of parang binubuli niya talaga which is yung nakita natin sa Miami, right? He's trying to force his way, malakas yung katawan niya, but if you will go back and review yung game na yon, you did not see very few siguro na post play na talaga makikita mong galing ng post move na yon. Normally, pag binaback down niya, inaatrasan lang niya, ginagamit niya yung lakas niya.
Pero, syempre iba rin yung pag ginamit mo upper body strength versus yung ginamitan mo ng, proper positioning ng foot, proper pivot, diba? Knowing when to turn or come back, tapos mag-fake ka.
Yeah.
Pero ito, Coach Mike, so pinapanood ko yung recap din ni B-Ball Breakdown ng series. Nung Game 6, of course, Game 6, totally different story. Kung Game 5, I think, was the closest game. Game 6 was blowout from start to finish. No other way to put it. Pero, ang crazy to think, no, Coach Mike, ang LA, throughout the regular season, 3-point shooting wasn't a strength. In fact, weakness nga nila yun. Hot and cold parate ang shooting nila. Si Danny Green nga na sinasabi ng mga tao, kailan kaya papasok tres nito. Pero, ang LA, di ba, outside shooting, sobrang streaky yan Hindi naging consistent. Pero, nataka ako, bakit all of a sudden pag finals, biglang umulan sila ng tres? Kasi ba Miami was leaving them so open or paano ka biglang iinit na lang all of a sudden na lahat ng tres mo, na-outshoot mo yung Miami and nandun si Hero, nandun si Duncan Robinson, di ba?
Well, si Miami kasi was really giving up the three. Pag tinignan mo yung number of attempts ng LA all throughout, ang average mga around 35 to 40 attempts a game.
Okay.
Medyo madami yun. So I think meron pa nga isang game na one of the coaches na kilala ko, sabi niya nanalo yun. I think that was game 2. Where he said that Coach Chico Tan of San Beda Alabang, shout out to the guy. Sabi niya, parang parang Los Angeles Rockets sobrang dami ng 3 points na tinitira.
Yeah.
So to which I agreed, no, when he posted that. And simply it's because I think yun yung shot na inaalaw ni Miami. Yet on the games that they lost, they really lost on the 3-point shot and them not doing well on the free throws. Yun ang observation ko doon sa mga natalo sila Except for game 1 na talagang sobrang, they felt the loss of Dragic and si Bam, no? Yeah. They really felt that, naramdaman nila yan. But the rest of the way, makikita mo yung games which LA did really well in the 3 points. Tapos sila masama yung free throws nila. That's the games that they normally would be losing na talaga. No chance about it. And talagang yun naman yung shot na binibigay ni Miami. They had to, if you look at their defense, normally pagka may dumadrive na, all five players already in the paint eh. So they couldn't care less about the 3-point attempts.
Yeah.
And meron ring konting issue dun sa defense ni Miami pagdating sa 3 points.
Okay.
Mapapansin mo karamihan doon mga corner shots, yung mga 3 points nila.
Yeah.
It's because yung guardia on that side is forced to cover two players, meaning yung nasa wing at saka nasa corner. So dalawang nagti 3 points yun. And normally ang first pass galing sa taas is papunta sa wing, 'di ba?
Yes.
So when he closes that out, libre yung corner and nobody's covering the corner. Kaya, those are some of the little things kung bakit ang dami nilang threes, bakit three, very rare yung contested na three.
So, in a way, Coach Mike, nag-gamble lang Miami na. Sige, pabayaan natin na yung tres, di ba?
Oo. Kasi parang sila, pick your poison na lang sila eh.
Yeah.
Lalabanan ko ba sila sa loob na sobrang lalakas nila? O I'll take my risks of, sana hindi pumasok yung mga 3 points ninyo. So, hindi naman nila makokontrol kasi pareho. I'd like to think yun yung thought process nila Miami.
There's also Coach Mike, parang a key note to pinpoint dito sa series na to, no? Yung Frank Vogel, galing siyang Indiana Pacers dati na nandun si Hibbert, David West, ganyan, Paul George. Known as a blue-collar, grit and grind team yan. Pero parang na-transfer niya dito yung physicality nun, yung brand ng physicality nun, napunta kay Dwight Howard, di ba? Napunta, of course, kay LeBron, ganon. Yun ba yung para sa'yo nag-wear down pa sa Miami na alam natin, short rotation na nga, fatigue na nga, plus physical pa LA.
Yeah. Especially yung kay Dwight Howard, I feel si Dwight really caused a problem sa Miami. Kahit na maliit lang yung niya, yung stint niya on the floor. I feel yung very first na match up niya with Bam Adebayo was very crucial. Nahirapan si Bam honestly. Ang joke nga sa coaching community is that probably ito yung game na na-realize ni Bam na kailangan niya pa magpalaki ng deltoids. kaya yung balikat ni Howard hindi niya kinaya. So pag nasa labas okay lang pero pag nasa loob na rebounding, offensive and defensive, medyo nahirapan siya. In fact, doon siya na-injure. So medyo yun ang challenge sa kanya. On the yung blue collar na mini-mention mo naman, I read somewhere na ang talaga ni Frank Vogel is to really put up a defensive team. It's not an offensive oriented team. So they felt na with LeBron James, parang offense should not be a major concern. It's really more on the defense. Kasi if you have a guy that's as strong as LeBron and as high IQ as LeBron, and then you've got Anthony Davis, medyo yung offense would come in. They formed that team based on defense.
Right.
So that's why you've got si Dwight Howard, they brought in Rajon Rondo, si Morris, primarily for defensive stops. I think doon pumapasok yung blue collar na sinasabi mo, Anthony.
Okay. And as it is na nga, Coach Mike, no, because of yung combination ng factors na yan, banner number 17 for the LA Lakers franchise. Alam ko, Coach Mike, outstanding yun. Diba? Parang, of course, excellent record. Pero of course, ang center of attention now, LeBron James, ring number 4, only player to lead 3 different franchises to championships. So now, eto na, Coach Mike, makikisali na tayo sa debate. Bagong storyline na naman ang pumasok sa never-ending LBJ or MJ debate. Now, okay, I know ang daming interpretations na to, ang daming pwedeng sabihin dito. Pero parang feeling ko, kasi ako, of course, kakanood natin ng Last Dance. Buong childhood ko, MJ ako, tapos sumunod Kobe. So yun ang alam ko, greatness, MJ, Kobe. Pero parang may feeling ka ba na etong debate na to kay LeBron and Michael Jordan, parang ito na yung pinaka-close na it will ever be, itong usapan na to di ba?
Yeah, tama ka doon. I feel after LeBron won this, parang dumikit yung gap parang hindi na ganun kalaki, no? Siguro lumalaki na lang 'yun dahil sa yung winning percentage from a final standpoint, comparing MJ and LeBron.
Yes.
Syempre si MJ is 100%, no?
Yeah.
Like si LeBron, he's what, 4 out of 10, no? So I think dun yung nagiging disparity, some sort. But then again, if you look at Michael Jordan, if you wanna go way back, Bill Russell had 11. So ibang kwentuhan naman 'yon, no?
Oo.
Kaya magtataka ka kung bakit, if championship really is the basis, bakit hindi nasasama si Bill Russell on
True.
that on that discussion.
True.
But I feel na it's really close yung comparison between MJ and LeBron, and I think LeBron is clearly making more statement for himself. The key difference, I believe, is how he went in Game 5. That close out really. Imagine, Anthony, had he made that shot and closed out the series for LeBron, for Kobe Bryant and the 17th of the Lakers.
Yes.
On a night where he scored 40 and going 7 of 9 from the field, and closed the game with a jump shot, a floater, what have you, to win it all. I think we'll say, yeah, definitely he's on the same level of MJ. Pero merong konting wiggle room pa, no, na nagsasabing, no, hindi pa. Parang ganun.
Oo. Alam mo, Coach Mike, may binabasa akong article ni Zach Lowe sa ESPN. So parang, ang binibigay niyang point dito, si Jordan kasi, Kobe even, ramdam mo yung pagka-clutch. Tulad, alam mo you feel yung pagka-clutch kasi MJ, Craig Elo, alam natin yun, yung tira niya na yun. Yung 98 crossover kay Byron Russell, 'di ba? Parang perfect scenery. Kobe, yung against Phoenix na elbow pull up, very dramatic. Pero parang si LeBron, yung pagka-clutch niya kasi iba eh. Parang ang recent clutch moment na naalala ko sa kanya, 2016, yung block kay Iguodala. So parang may factor din siguro yung how we view yung clutchness ni MJ and Kobe versus yung si LeBron kasi iba yung pagka-clutch niya. He doesn't use it sa buzzer beater na dramatic or 'di ba last second shot, 'di ba? May ganun eh.
Yeah. Well, ang feeling ko ang difference between the three, no? Kobe and MJ talagang game on the line, give them the ball, they'll finish it. Diba?
Yeah.
Si LeBron, if the last possession was offensive, an offense, I don't think he'll make a play for himself. No, knowing na lumaki kasi si LeBron is parang facilitator talaga siya eh. So I don't think that LeBron is going to go for I'll score the last basket. I don't think he will. Very few instances yung nakikita natin na gano'n, at we could recall na talagang yun siya yung talagang nagpapanalo and everything on the big stage. Meron siya yung mga sa conference finals, no, in the playoffs. Meron siya in Cleveland, but it's not as consistent as Kobe and Michael would do on the offensive end. But the thing about LeBron is, what I noticed with LeBron, si MJ tsaka si Kobe is that, let's say you're watching the game, nanonood ka. Pag yung bola napunta na kay Kobe at saka kay Michael, na-excite ka na eh. Parang kung ikaw yung kalaban, nag-worry ka na kasi nasa kanya yung bola. Now, kay LeBron, kahit wala sa kanya yung bola, nag-worry ka eh. Kasi hindi mo yung he gets offensive boards, he can do a steal, he can facilitate. So yun ang makikita mo kay LeBron. That's the big difference to me personally, based on the number of times that I've watched all three. Si MJ, pag hawak na yung bola, ayan na, di ba? Ayan na. Or si Kobe, ganun din. You'd expect, wow, what a move, di ba?
Yes.
But si LeBron, he's kind of like just lurking inside the court, and he's going to make one major play. Either it's a pass, a block, on offensive board, a tip. Yun yung kinaiba ni LeBron dun sa dalawa eh. But again, if it's the end game, you'd really bet more on MJ and Kobe to score than LeBron.
So parang pag ganun, Coach Mike, yung kaya ramdam mo yung pagka-clutch ni MJ and Kobe kasi yung impact nila with the ball, 'di ba? Game on the line, sige, titirahin ko 'yan. Pero si LeBron, parang yung impact niya mas subtle kasi ang dami niyang ang dami pa niyang pwedeng gawin without
Yeah.
the basketball, di ba?
Right.
So,
Right.
ano to, Coach Mike? Okay. Kasi also one thing that's parang holding me back kay LeBron, ha? Alam natin, yung Jordan perfect record, 6-0 sa finals, 6 finals MVPs. Pero yung kay LeBron kasi, ang biggest black mark pa rin sa career niya, 2011, alam natin to, meltdown against Dirk and the Mavs. Talagang, kung nagkalat talaga. Diba? He was awful dun sa finals na yun. Pero, ikaw, Coach Mike, kunyari, 2011 yun, it's now 2020. And then, si LeBron siguro, I don't know, knock on wood, pero he might surpass Kareem as the all-time leading scorer. Ang dami pa niyang records, magagawang masisirang records. Paano natin i-weigh ito? Perfect finals ni MJ versus yung totality ng career ni LeBron na kahit, I don't know, 4-6 sa finals, pero ang dami na nang nabuwag na record, ang dami pa niya nagawang yung historical milestone. Paano mo i-weigh yun?
Well, yun na nga. Because LeBron is asked to do more than Michael. And feeling ko yung offensive system rin kasi nila magkaiba eh. Yung common between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, both of them played using the triangle offense. Both of them learned under Tex Winter. Both of them have the same shot selection. Both of them have the same footwork. And primarily, it really boils down to them using the same offense. No? Before that, wala namang ganun si Kobe, di ba? Si Kobe was really more face-up, yung bata na dadrivean kita or what have you. But as he went, and when Phil Jackson came in and they used the triangle, nag-mature siya eh. He was giving up the ball, he had this footwork, so nagbago siya.
Yeah.
But LeBron is really just made to do more than everyone else, and i-add mo pa diyan yung longevity niya na those 9 years ba na diretso na pumapasok sa playoffs, natutuloy sa finals. Medyo mabigat yun. At he was doing it in very consistently. So I think doon nagkakaroon ng difference with MJ and Kobe. And if you look at MJ, there was this 2 years na hindi siya naglaro. So that already is a gap, 'di ba?
Yes.
Or 1 year rather.
Tama.
Na hindi siya naglaro, 'di ba? So there's all that gap. And then si Kobe naman, yung mga early Kobe, 20 so yes, yun yung difference between the two, kaya mas marami somehow umaabot yung mga numbers ni LeBron.
Oo nga, kasi kung gagawin nating statistical race to, talagang LeBron all the way. Kasi I mean, ngayon pa lang makikita mo na he can blow Kobe and MJ out of the water sa stats lang, 'di ba? Based on stats alone. Pero yung ano kasi, Coach Mike, also, 'di ba, we have to think, yun nga, yung longevity ni LeBron is, I don't know kung may ibang athlete na we've ever seen na yung
parang hindi matatapos eh.
Yun nga eh. Kasi alam ko Kareem played 20 plus years, pero nakikita mo naman nag-decline din si Kareem when he was already 'di ba playing with Magic Johnson. Alam natin si Magic na nagdadala ng LA's noon. Pero si LeBron parang ikaw like paano mo na anong tingin mo doon na yung peak niya parang nandito pa rin year 17. Pag titingnan mo yung stats niya, Coach Mike, parang wow, ano to, 25, 'di ba? Hindi, 35 na siya, ganun pa rin eh.
Yeah. It has a lot to do, I feel, on how he takes care of his body. He takes really good care of his body. Isipin mo, you going through game 1 of the season after the very last game of the season. No, yung finals. I mean, every year ganun. So you really have that very small window to rest. And the thing is, with LeBron, yung small window na yun, nagte-training pa siya. Nagbe-beef up pa siya.
Yeah.
So makikita mo very, I'd say, methodical yung how he takes care of his body. Considering the volume of games that he's played and the amount of minutes. And the years na na ganun pa rin yung laro niya. I mean, look at the LeBron fans, no. Yung mga LeBron fans, when you look at them and pumasok sa final si LeBron, kahit pa na ang record niya is 4 out of 10, no. Mararamdaman mo yung confidence level nila. Sige, tayo, let's do a bet, I'll challenge you na LeBron is going to win this, ganun. Ganun kalaki yung confidence nila kay LeBron simply because again, that he's not just a scorer. He can impact the game in many ways.
True.
Not to say that Michael and Kobe did not do that. Yes, they did. Pero si LeBron talagang mararamdaman mo na parang he's just lurking and waiting for that moment to either get that steal, get that rebound, that tip, that assist. Like sila MJ tsaka sila Kobe, really more on scoring the points if the game is on the line.
Yeah.
So it's a credit to his yung meals that he takes.
Yes.
The conditioning that he does, the rest times that he grabs the opportunity, and he's really taking good care of his body. And I feel nag-benefit rin siguro siya with the technology that we have now.
Sure.
In terms of from a body conditioning standpoint.
Yeah. Kasi kahit nga, 'di ba, Coach Mike, even si Tim Grover, sabi niya nung una niyang talagang tinraining si MJ, yung methods nila hindi pa katulad ngayon, 'di ba? Parang nagsisimula pa lang na maging scientific yung physical training Pero okay, ito Coach Mike, no. Yung debate na to na who is the GOAT all time ganyan. Parang parang feeling ko kasi baka yung siya, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Kung hanap mo stone cold killer, 'di ba? Assassin sa clutch situation, MJ, Kobe. Always. Pero kung parang hinahanap mo, all around greatness, talagang yung tawag nito, yung total team performer, LeBron yun. So, baka ganun dapat yung framing ng tanong, di ba?
Yeah. And I feel yung debate ng GOAT, I watched somewhere na it's really generational Ibig sabihin, halimbawa ako, I grew up in Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. Someone else who's older than me grew up with the Celtics time or what have you. Then sigurado yun, he would say, no, you're forgetting about Bill Russell and yung rings niya, what have you. And who am I to contest that? Hindi ko naman siya nakita araw-araw na I don't hear the news. Unlike us, our generation, it was almost like. During the time of Michael Jordan, it was almost like, Michael Jordan scores 50 and gets the game-winning basket. Michael Jordan scores another 40. And it's almost parang, it sounds mundane na parang normal na siya during that time. Pero kahit naririnig mo siya, na-excite ka pa rin. Sabi ko, ibang klase talaga yung Jordan. Ganun yung kwentuhan palagi, di ba? And during that time, as I was studying, this was the time na, because I live in the South, no? So medyo mahaba yung biyahe mo ginagawa yung Skyway. You would spend 3-4 hours on the road and kayo magkabarkada, magkasama kayong papasok. And a lot of the kwentuhan would be, kita mo ginawa ni Jordan kahapon. Grabe talaga yung tao na yan, no? So it was a repeated conversation. And then pumasok yung generation ni Kobe, yun rin ang pinag-uusapan nila, no? And then pumasok yung si LeBron came up and that generation was always saying now he's the GOAT. And I totally understand yung mga LeBron fans na saying that theirs is the GOAT. But I feel each generation would have their GOAT, and that if you put their GOAT in a conversation, no, he's not the GOAT. Our generation is our generation's GOAT is better. Dun medyo nagkakaroon ng hindi mo naman sila madala dun sa past during the 1990s na sit here and watch every day the things that you hear on the news and the papers about MJ. So hindi nila na-experience yun So if I'm gonna compare now, since I went through all three, no, I feel it's really Jordan. That's but again, si LeBron is making a case for himself. I feel talaga kung napasok niya yung Game 5 na yun, I mean, I would have said na sobrang nipis na talaga ng difference nung dalawa, 'di ba? But it is what it is. So, ganyan pa rin yung kwentuhan hanggang ngayon.
Parang, na lang, Coach Mike, maybe, di ba, appreciate lang natin yung greatness nila. Sobrang unique kasi, di ba? Pero parang at the same time, masarap na rin mag-debate ng ganun. I'm not gonna lie. Masarap talaga mag-debate.
Right.
Di ba? Pero yun nga, maybe tapos you have to take into context yung LeBron era. Talagang social media time to eh. So lahat ng ginagawa niya viral talaga. Di ba?
Yeah.
So may factor din yun.
Yeah. Totoo yun, totoo yun. And naman there's one, I don't know if it's Nick Wright who said this. Sabi niya, when you're going up against LeBron in the finals, hindi pa nag-i-start yung series, down ka na. Down ka na. If you're tied in a series with LeBron, you really are behind. And if you're ahead of him, you're not sure na tatapusin mo siya. Which is totoo.
Warriors.
Totoo, yun ang Yeah, totoo. It's in the back of your head na, this guy can contribute so much to the game na possibly turn it around. Not at the end game, kundi in the middle of the game. Na talagang malayo na, di ba? Not on the end game. Middle of the game, he can influence a lot.
Wow. Sige, Coach Mike, ito na. How much longer can LeBron keep up this peak and ilan pang rings do you see him winning?
The rate he's going, I feel kaya niya umabot ng 40 feeling ko at 40. That level. Although yung decline niya ng 40 feeling ko is that hindi as dominant as but he still would be in there competing. Maybe around 40. Sobrang stretch na sa akin yun yung 40 Right now he's 35, no? Who knows, baka mamaya he's really conditioning himself para he gets that opportunity to play with his son. Who I hope is okay now after Dad went home. But, tingin ko ganun, no? Probably makaka-start tayo makakita ng decline by maybe 38. But I feel he can still play until 40. Remember, si MJ naglaro pa yan, 40-something na, pero umi-score pa rin, di ba? He still strikes that fear in the opponent. So, I feel si LeBron din ganun. But, if I'm LeBron, maybe it's time to start doing the post game. Since nobody's doing that now, and he's that strong and he's that skilled, sobrang advantage sa kanya yun. Kaya kami mga coaches, we were discussing, okay, sige, ngayon everybody's doing the 3-point shot, everybody's taking it from way outside, fine, okay. So what if somebody in the caliber of Shaquille O'Neal comes along?
Patay ka.
Knowing na nobody can contest that shot against him, di ba? Kasi everybody's concentrated outside. Sige, score threes in bunches, pero I'm going to have an easier time with the 2-point shot inside with that dominant guy. And then again, the guys of analytics would say, yeah, but 3 points is still more than 2 points. So you can make that case, no? But percentage of losing that shot from point blank, especially if habang discussion about yung ganyang klase ng perspective on the game.
True. Pero daw, Coach Mike, si Bronny James ngayon, hindi daw Taco Tuesday, Tago Tuesday na daw sila sa bahay.
Oo nga. Right. So,
okay. So, sige, Coach Mike, I think okay yung usapan natin for that, for the NBA Finals and of course for the endless LBJ versus MJ debate. Pero Coach Mike, punta muna tayo sa something na mas local, of course. Kung kakatapos lang ng bubble sa States, meron din tayong bubble dito sa Clark, Pampanga. At of course, babatiin natin ating chief si Sir Noel na naghahanap ng chicken sa sa hotel nila. Pero okay, Coach Mike, what's the one thing na gusto mong makita sa PBA Bubble? Kasi alam natin model yan NBA Bubble, 'di ba? Sa Orlando. Pero ano yung one thing na gusto mo sana ma-incorporate ng PBA Bubble sa Clark?
Well, as from yung security and safety of the players and the people involved there, be it media or be it the coaches or what have you. I'd like to see sana makita natin yung mga virtual fans na makikita mo talaga sa side Kasi yung virtual fans, ang parang video ball niya nasa goal post no. So,
Oo.
nasa end siya, wala doon sa middle. So
Ah.
I'd like to see that para makita mo talaga yung reaction. Alam mo naman Pinoy. I feel pagka ginawa mo yun, ang dami, so mas lalong madami nanonood. Right now, I think they're averaging 50K views
Wow.
per game. So medyo marami din, no. To think na sabi nila, wala, hindi hindi kikita yan, hindi marami manonood yan, ginaya nyo lang yung sa NBA. But basketball is still basketball, and Pinoys will still be Pinoys when it comes to basketball.
Yes.
So especially now, pandemic, wala kang ginagawa and you're hoop junkie, talagang panonoorin mo yan. Diba?
Definitely. And alam mo, Coach Mike, hindi lang Pinay nanonood. I mean, mga even FIBA writers, international sports journalists, tinitingnan nila tong PBA. Parang, gumagawa kayo ng bubble. Sige, baka parang maging model to for other leagues sa Asia, di ba? Who knows?
Yeah.
And
You have to credit the Willie Marshall, commissioner, for putting it up and taking that initiative. And they know it's not that easy, challenging siya, but if you have everything in place, then you can pull it off. Tsaka ano naman yan ang pakiramdam ko diyan is yung start lang ang nagpapahirap niyan, because as you go, nagiging ano na siya parang normal course of doing business na siya.
Yeah.
So nagiging hindi na siya ganun kahirap. At least alam mo na yung mga what to avoid, what to do, what not to do as you go on day to day.
Okay, tama. And sige, Coach Mike, punta naman tayo sa usapang basketball. Dadaanan lang natin yung mga happening so far sa PBA Bubble. Of course, ang 5-time defending Philippine Cup champion, San Miguel Beer, hindi mukhang champion ngayon dahil wala nang Junmar. At kagabi lang, Terence Romeo dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
So, okay. Alam mo, Coach Mike, first few games ng PBA Bubble, parang nakikita ko ang daming injuries. Alaska, Kevin Racal, ACL injury. Token Tex, Kib Montalvo, wala na rin. So, dahil ba to sa ilan months na tayo naka-quarantine? 8 months? Tapos bigla kang sasabak sa tournament? Di ba? Baka may factor yun, no?
Yeah, that could be a factor. Tama ka dun, Anthony. I mean, even if they do in-house na, Zoom na training or what have you, iba pa rin yung actual na ginagawa mo, yung range of motions mo, no? Yeah. Within the preparation for the season. One of the si Coach Dayong Mendoza, the assistant coach of Coach Leo, who I fortunately got to work with in one of the podcasts that I guested, really put a lot of emphasis on the preparation. No, he was talking a lot about it. And to see players go down this quickly in the PBA bubble, I guess tama ka doon. You can contribute that to matagal na hindi tumakbo, tapos biglang pinatakbo, mabilisan, competitive, may eagerness, no? Na alam mo yun yung yung jittery ka dahil gusto mo na maglaro. Tapos syempre may mga trash talk pa yan sa loob na kantsawa na parang yung sobrang tagal ng pandemic, parang nawala yung yung skill set mo. Syempre ikaw ngayon as a competitor that you are, you try to prove yourself, and quite possibly baka na-overstretch nila yung sarili nila, kind of like how Jimmy Butler was in that series versus LA.
Yeah.
Na I feel that and the other coaches also alluded to this in BouncePass, that Game 6 would be a key turning point because feeling namin pagod na yung Miami. At sobrang na-stretch ni Jimmy Butler yung sarili niya.
Fatigue na
wala na, sagad na siya. Nakita mo yung baba niya doon sa podium after nung interview niya, di ba? Yung lakad varsity na, parang ang sakit-sakit ng katawan. Yung bawat hakbang umaangat yung balikat. Parang ganung lakad. So naramdaman mo sobrang pain na siya. So I feel parang ganun din yung sa PBA na too much too soon from a range of movement. I'm not a conditioning coach, I'm not a PT, but from an eye perspective, feeling ko parang ganun.
Yeah.
Which brings to mind the law of atrophy, where you lose what you don't lose. So if you don't do that range of motion so much and biglang gawin mo 'yon, competitive environment, possible na ganun. Nakakalungkot lang kasi tinatamaan yung mga key players.
Siyempre.
Kaya kanina nagulat ako yung when I read that news about yung shoulder injury ni Romeo. Sabi ko, wow. Yeah, San Miguel is taking a lot of hits.
Yun nga eh. Bumangga lang kay Ryan Reyes kagabi. Tapos parang kala ko pinagpag lang. Tapos wala, dislocated na pala. So, okay. Sige, Coach Mike, tingnan lang natin undefeated team so far sa PBA Bubble. Sabihin mo lang sa akin kung if you're buying or selling. Okay?
Okay.
So, number 1, TNT Tropang Giga. Roger Pugoy, 45 nung unang game. Ray Parks, nag-40. Si Poy Eram, nag-27 and 15 kagabi. Are you buying or selling yung scoring outbursts ng TNT?
I'm buying that. I'm buying that because I've always looked at TNT as, even before, no, the time of si Chot pa, Coach Chot pa may hawak niyan. I like the flow of, how they run their sets, no? And I like yung player development nila. Close to Alaska and San Miguel, I believe, no, based on my observation. That's how I see it. So I'm not surprised that Poy Eram and sila Ray Parks scored that much, especially si Ray Parks. Si Pagoy naman is given na yun eh. Talaga naman gagawin niya yun at any point. He just needs that opportunity. Pero si Ray Parks is because of the amount of preparation that he does. He actually works with Primetime Elite, who the coach happens to be one of our good friend, the son of a co-parent in San Beda, Alabang, si RJ Johnson. He's the one who trains Ray Parks. And shout out to Rafi and RJ and to April and the kids. That Primetime Elite has always been, on the preparation of Ray Parks, and I'm really not surprised na umiscore ng ganong kalaki si Ray. Parang ang dali ng game sa kanya eh, di ba?
Yun nga eh. Parang kagabi yung sabi ko, fade away, turn around, easy. Sobrang easy para kay Ray Parks kagabi. Anyway,
finish with the left hand, finish with the right hand, parang pareho lang.
Yeah, tama. Okay, next naman, Coach Mike. ROS Elasto Painters, yung young guns nila. Ray ng Batak, nag-game winner against San Miguel the other day. Tapos, just the other night naman, Javi Mocon leading them over Terra Firma Jeep, buying or selling yung young guns ng ROS.
I'm buying because si Javi Mocon used to be a Red Lion San Veda. So
Go.
No, but aside from that, I've always believed in the talent of those guys. Rain Mambatak is a hardcore blue collar player, na who'd really work for his opportunities and his chances. And si Javi Moco naman is somebody that I saw even in high school kasi my son used to play with him against him rather in San Beda. My son was from Beda Alabang, and Javi being from Beda Mendiola. So doon pa lang nakikita mo na there is a lot of upside to Javi Moco, and I've seen how he plays. Similar to si Arvin Tolentino, parang ganun. So I'm not surprised with these two players, so I'm buying them.
Okay. Phoenix Fuel Masters, no Calvin Abueva, no problem because last game, Jason Perkins nag-31. Nung opening naman, Matthew Wright nag-36. Hot shooting ng Phoenix Fuel. Buying or selling?
I'm buying because of the coach. Because of how Coach Topex has been running his teams. Coach Topex is a player's coach. Kung sa corporate, parang people manager yan eh. He puts a lot of emphasis on, the well-being and the state of his players, both as from a physical standpoint, emotionally and intellectually, he's always there. There was this time that I covered Smart City Hoops, one of the preseason games for UAAP and NCAA, aside from yung mga Philoy and what have you, it's the first time I got to observe really close si Topex Robinson and the way he handles his teams. Of all the UAAP and NCAA teams that's participating in Smart City Hoops, I feel they're the only ones who really get down on their knees and embrace each other, kasama yung mga water boy, ball boy, and what have you. And then they pray together. And then you see them hug players, which very rarely do you see other teams do. So I guess that's a testament to the kind of leadership that Coach Topex has always been. And feeling ko advantage rin kay Coach Topex yung he's a good communicator kasi. Ang galing niya magsalita eh. So I feel that helps a lot in him doing coaching. I remember with one of the coaches that I look up to, and kind of like my mentor. Whenever I have coaching questions, I go to him aside from my co-coaches in BouncePass. His name's Coach Ronel Loterio. I think he's heading parang yung Davao leg yata ng SBP.
Okay.
He said that simplicity creates decisiveness. So if you're able to explain things really simple, then even the kind of like the low IQ basketball player or the least used basketball player can make a decision. Kasi very simple yung pinagagawa mo sa kanya. And the choices are just yes or no, 1 or 2, black or white, diba? So I feel yun yung advantage ni Coach Topex. He's able to get to that level of explaining it really well and clearly sa mga players niya. Kaya we're seeing what we're seeing now in Phoenix. A lot of upside. Coach Louis Alas, I felt, was also a really good communicator. But in this case, in si Topex yung may hawak. So, yeah, I'm buying also. Even if it was Coach Louis, I'm still buying.